This is the infamous Zeus.
Oh.
I feel like he was like, Mom!
It was.
Now everybody can see who makes all the noise.
I'm that client that's like, this is my cat. And I'm like, hi.
I'd rather people show me their cat than other things. So
Can't tell you how many times there's been guys in cutoff shirts with nip slips. I'm like, okay. Look how big he is, guys.
yeah, he's massive.
He's a big old baby. Okay, hold on. So he's gonna disrupt everything. Come on. $14 bet he comes back right here. So do you want to hear a fun fact?
I do.
Fun fact. I was checking Facebook memories while I was waiting for you to convert the file, and I was like, oh, cool. Let me just check Facebook memories. Why am I so out of breath? In 2016, I went to the Packer party at the Moose Lodge. It was a thing that they always used to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first day, 2016, that Jeffrey texted me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I went outside and I was like, guess what? It was like,
happy text-anniversary.
And I was like, this could be our anniversary because we don't have one at all. I mean, not that we didn't start actually like dating until a couple of years. But I was like, we went on a date, I think like a week later.
It was close to Dom's birthday, remember?
We never stopped. It was because Dom's birthday is the 21st.
Yep.
We had his party and I was like, who's that? What's his
remember
name?
You were wearing like a sundress. Why do I remember those things?
Oh my God. I was wearing a sundress and I was hungover. Oh my God. Remember how we talked about in previous episodes that I was like, oh, I went out a little bit too much. Yeah, this was those years. Thank God. Thank God Jeff was like, I'm going to look past that. Woo-wee. It was a whole
5 years ago. That's gnarly, dude. That's rad.
What was that? What was that? That's gnarly, dude. That's rad. Look how to wave.
I became a surfer over the weekend.
Gnarly.
So, yes. Yes.
I love it. Surfing Lake Michigan.
So I was gonna say in Lake Michigan with there's waves, but like you can't surf.
You can just bunny hop over them like
literally.
Okay.
Literally.
All right, guys. Big episode here.
Yeah. Big episode 30. What the fuck? Remember when we got to 10?
Remember when I told you 30 was going to be the best one ever?
Right?
Yeah. Remember when we recorded the first one? We were like, people are going to listen to this, but here we go. Oh, I love this. 30, which means we are so much closer to 50.
Yeah.
I'm excited. 50 is going to be a big one. I'm speaking that into existence.
I almost feel like but like I don't feel as prepared to episode 30 because like I knew episode 30 was coming, right? Like we just did 29. So obviously it comes after 29.
Literally, but as we were just talking about, I was like, oh fuck, this is 30.
I was like, we maybe should have picked like a really epic topic or like, should it be a reflection?
Should have had like an air horn or something. Bow, 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 bow.
And another one.
Bam, 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 bam. Tara will get that.
Oh my God.
Bam, 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 bam. I mean, we can do a reflection. I'm all for just talking with you about anything.
Because yes, we have topics. I feel like when we get to these big milestones like 10, 20, now 30, I don't know. I feel like they should be a little bit different.
Let's do it. Let's jump in. Test the water.
We can talk about like our whole journey on this podcast and what it's been to grow and what it feels like, or we can just talk about our lives and how it's been fucking insanity for like 3 goddamn weeks.
Here's the thing. I did a boot camp this morning on Peloton, and I needed to do an arms related one because the stack today was a 20-minute, I think like chest and back, or maybe arms and shoulders, 10-minute core, and then like a 10-minute arms resistance bands. And I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. So I did the core. I did my Tunde is a instructor and she has an arm challenge. So I did Tunde's arm challenge, the workout that I needed to get done. And then I was like, I'm going to do a Burt camp. 30 now. I'm going to do a boot camp because I need to get cardio in for my 2 miles every day in September. I hate myself. So I was like, sure. I didn't get my 2 miles yet, but I was like, sure, I'm going to do a boot camp. And I choose Chase Tucker, who is an instructor on Peloton, because he is just, 1, gorgeous, 2, so motivating. No, that's Adrian Williams.
Okay.
But then I'm also obsessed with Alex Toussaint, because his energy is like he's like, he does these rides like that are club bangers, and they're fucking great. They're so good, and his energy is amazing. But I also feel like he's the guy in the club who's like too cool for you, but you're like, hey, do you notice me?
Hey, just get a little bit closer. He's gonna see me.
That's so crazy. I like that too. I don't even know what they're talking about. And then Adrian Williams is just so, oh my God, he's so pretty. I don't even know how he walks around on a daily basis and like just lives his life. And then I found out he has a girlfriend. And I got so sad. Not that I'm ever going to meet him. But I was
you never know.
Yeah. But you know who I would love to meet, as I'm wrapping this up, love to meet in person is Chase Tucker, because he is so motivational. Oh my gosh. He has these little, they're like his little motivational minutes at the end of the workout where he gives these like little knowledge, like truth bombs. But towards the end of the workout, it wasn't like necessarily then, but it was towards the end of the workout. He was like, if you are tired, that is you getting better. You being tired means that you are building that strength for the next level, the next step. And Stephanie, and I'm not kidding you, I don't know where this like softness is coming from this past week, but I was like, we are getting stronger, because like Steph and I had just been going through it, right? Of like trying to figure out different ways to be able to get the podcast up and uploaded and together, and like meeting deadlines and like all these little piddly things, but that add up to such a big, what can feel like such an insurmountable task. And I was like, we are getting stronger. And then I thought about how that applies to every stage of my life and or my clients' lives, of these moments where they feel like they can't take anymore, they can't do anymore. And it's like, no, you need this. This is the part that builds you for the next part. Like if you think about when you were in grade school and you then you went to like graded work, it was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do this. Or maybe, I mean, I don't really remember my thoughts back then, but my thought process would be that I would be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so hard. Then you go to from elementary to middle school, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much hard. They're like, we're gonna have to switch classes, we're gonna have to remember all these things, there's so much homework. Then you go to high school and you're like, oh fuck, like there's no way. Then high school, you get to freshman, sophomore year, which are a little difficult, but then you get to junior year, very hard, and then you get to pivotal year. Yes, then you get to senior year and like, oh my God, I'm doing this. Then you go to college and you're like, oh, I thought I was busy. And now I know I'm busy. And so every single step of your life prepares you for that next avenue. And it's like, there's always that moment where you're like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to be able to I can't do this. And then
think
you
about
do.
How overwhelming it was when we first were like, let's start a podcast. Like, we're funny. Let's do this. Right. And then
we're funny. That's why we should start.
You magically got that big ass check from the fucking government and you're like, we're fucking doing it. And I was like, okay, this is real. We're going to do it. We get the equipment and we're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? We're like, Sage, help. We don't know what we're doing. Right. We got through that, but there was still like some issues and stuff, because we're not tech people. We've told you guys before, like this is not our forte, but we were determined to fucking figure it out, right?
Yeah, the package that you have for your microphone is what I had, and that didn't work for me. So now I have this separate microphone and my headphones, and she's got what you guys obviously see. Like there were so many roadblocks.
Yep. And then having to, you know, like have my brother edit and then send it to us. Like you guys obviously don't see all the behind the scenes stuff, but this takes a lot of work and time and dedication to really like put forth good content. Like, yeah, we can make trash and put it out there, but like, we're not doing that. Right.
Right.
And as things have progressed, we decided to do YouTube. And I straight up told Mari, I was like, that seems very overwhelming for me. Like, I can't. And she was like, I'll do it. I'll take it on. And she did. And she's learning stuff every day. Right. So ultimately, you have to put forth the effort to keep growing, and growing is really fucking uncomfortable and overwhelming. And there's days that you want to give up because you're like, I don't want to keep going through this to get to the other side, even if I know it's better. Like, I know that I felt that way for a couple of weeks, and without kind of like, I don't want to say merit, but there were days that I woke up and I'm like, I'm just overwhelmingly sad. Like, hello, depression. It creeps in sometimes, and I have to be mindful of it so I don't allow it to consume me, because I can very easily just fall back into old patterns and just be complacent with being sad. But then you're just surviving every day. You're not living your life. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing, right? Like, we're supposed to have life experience and feel things every day and go through things every day in order to get stronger or to get better, or whatever phrase it is that you want to use. But yeah, I tell people all the time how growth can feel really overwhelming and uncomfortable more times than not, I feel like.
Why do you think it's so overwhelming?
For me personally?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times when I go through stuff like this, I feel like I can't manage my life. And then I feel like I'm failing, right? Because I feel like I have so much going on. I feel like I don't have enough time, or I'm not spending enough time with Bug, or all I'm doing is working, but yet I'm not working enough. Or there's all these like dichotomous thoughts that happen. And then I just shut down because I'm like, I can't even process through this. And there'll be times that I miracle you and I'm like, yeah, I just can't deal with my life right now, in a sense of like, I feel like I don't have enough mental capacity to manage it all, because I'm also, you have to remember, like, we're also managing other people's lives as therapists, right? We have our shit and then we have everybody else's, because that's what our job is. And our job is to help them manage it as well. Behind the scenes though, when we're dealing with our own stuff, I know I can get in my head of like, who am I to fucking give advice? I'm a mess right now, right? Like, that's a pretty common cognitive error, I think, that I experience quite a bit, which I challenge all the time. But yeah, I think I don't want to say I'm easily overwhelmed, because I can handle a lot of shit at once. Like, I feel like not that I was bred to do that, but I was kind of raised in a sense of like, you handle whatever's thrown at you, right? Like,
I'm a fucking workhorse. I was
like,
bred for this.
I'm a thoroughbred. Like, yeah, it's what I do, right?
Fuck that. I'm a donkey. I am the fucking end all be all. I will carry the load. I'm an ass.
You know what I mean?
I know. Thoroughbreds don't do shit. You know how I know that? TikTok.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm on horse TikTok right now, and I on my iPad.
I was just gonna say,
still not on my phone, guys.
Okay. I was just gonna say,
only when I am only when I am at home. I did delete it from your house too. I did. I'm so proud of myself. Only when I am at home, and if I honestly have done things that I need to do. Like, on really overwhelming days, I'll come home and watch it. But realistically, if I'm like eating my breakfast, I'm like, I have 10 minutes. This is the perfect 10 minutes for TikTok. Because then I know I have to get up because I have to go to work. So it's like, I know there's an end. Otherwise, it is a rabbit hole. I'm deep in the rabbit hole. Yeah.
How do you feel like the growth of our podcast has not affected you, but do you think that it unfolded the way you thought it was going to?
To be completely honest with you, Steph, I didn't have any future thoughts about it.
I don't know that I did either.
I really didn't. I was just like, if we do it, cool. If we like do it for a couple episodes and then stop, we stop. But like in my head, I was like, I never like saw like a future of like, this is what it's going to be. And we're going to be like this and this and this and that. Like there's times now where I catch myself being like, it'd be so cool to do an in-person recording. It'd be so cool to do like a live Q&A. It'd be cool to do these things. I mean, we're therapists. I thrive off of, meeting people and talking to them and getting to know them and like wanting to answer their questions and connect. And I think that you do as well. But I don't know if I had any future thoughts. I'm beyond happy with what we've put out. I'm beyond happy with the people that follow us and who have received us. And I know that we have our diehards who are like, hey, we are here listening every single time.
Every week. Yep.
Every week, and who are posting it. And I am so grateful and so feel so blessed that there are people who are there doing that. But I also know that there's people behind the scenes who like, I'll randomly see a couple weeks later and be like, hey, you know, episode whatever, that was a great episode. I really liked that one. It really resonated with me. And I'm like, oh, I know it is where we have come has been so rewarding to me, right? Because I've talked about it till I'm blue in the face. Like words of affirmation is my thing. And for people to say like, you're doing such a great job. Like this really resonates with me. This means a lot to me. Like my cup is so full. My cup runneth over. Like I'm just so happy. Like it makes me just want to keep doing it. And for as long as it takes, and I know it takes time out of our day, and there are a lot of behind the scene things that people don't see. And we don't say that for the sense of like, this is where, like we're both fucking, like we said, we're donkeys or we're horses. Like I have not known rest. I don't know what rest is. And I'm not gratifying that, right? Like that is something that I struggle with, that I am learning to get better out of resting. But it just makes me want to do more. It makes me want to continue. It makes me want to find new topics or reach out to people, or like, I'm like, we should get a booth at a fair. We should do just random shit. Like it makes me want to take us so much further.
Same.
I love this. Except my mouth is so dry, so it's sticking. Because I use mouthwash because of fucking garlic parmesan. I was like, okay, I can't sit through another fucking podcast. Just be like.
I know that we talk about setting intentions and goals too for our future, right? And I think that also applies to the podcast. So ultimately, what is like your big picture, not end all be all goal, but like what's a big picture goal that you have for us that you work on every day or like try to acknowledge every day? I think I need to get better at that.
Thanks for asking. I changed our goal that I write daily. What is happening?
See?
What
Keeps
is
getting
this?
stuck on the headphones.
I am. I changed our goal that I write daily to, instead of we have a successful podcast, and I put that to be completed by 8/21, so August of this year. But as I was nearing August, I was like, what is success? Like, I don't view success as like, I think the traditional version of success. I think my view of success is like wanting us to be able to reach people and connect with people, like it resonate with people. Like that's my view of success. So I changed it and I said, we have a successful podcast with over 20,000 streams.
Okay.
That to me is like, that's the first like big milestone goal. I think after we hit that, maybe I'll change it to be more focused on YouTube. Sure. I know that, I think another thing that I want to be more intentional with, and now that I'm putting it on the podcast, I kind of have to.
Now you have to hold yourself to it. Yikes.
I have to show up. I know.
Edit.
I'm just kidding. Is that you do a phenomenal job of sharing on social media, and I want to be more intentional with that. It's not that I'm not intentional with it. This month has been nuts. So my thought process is like, okay, once this calms down a little bit, October, November, maybe I can be more intentional. Christmas, like the month of December, I make no promises for anything because it's Christmas month, and that is wild because there's shit every weekend. And then I'm like, okay, January, February, again, hunker down and really, how can I show up in new ways to promote the podcast? What does that look like? Does that look like sending out flyers? Does that look like, handing out business cards? Is that like, what does that look like? Does it look like getting business cards made for the podcast? I don't
Sure.
know. But I want to be more
sponsorships,
intentional.
which I think that we've done.
Yeah. I want to be more intentional with it. So,
dude, here's the thing. And I think I've talked about this on here before. If not, you and I have talked about it. Marketing myself, whether it be for my own business or the podcast, feels weird to me because I'm not used to it. I don't ever want to come off. And I think this is super common for entrepreneurs in general. You don't ever want to come off as pushy, right? And there are some people like that's their jam. They push and push and push and push. And that's how they market. That's not me. I want it to be a genuine desire for somebody to want to listen to us or to want to support us, right? And the other thing is, while I love and appreciate when people are like, the cognitive error episode, I actually walked through an example myself and it helped me so much. Like fucking action steps, I'm here for it. But even if you guys are just like, you guys made me laugh today and I needed it, I'm fucking here for that too, right? I love that we can bring joy to somebody or cheer them up, even if it's for 30 minutes of their day. I'm here for it. Whatever way it feels good to you guys and whatever way it's helpful to you guys, I love it. I want to know all about it. Like, tell me.
Do you know what I kind of love about the podcast is that I think that I'm funny. I feel like I'm funny. I feel like people tell me that I'm funny.
Yes.
But it's like, I feel like it's situational. I feel like I always just can't be funny because people make me nervous sometimes. And like when I get around people, I'm like, I don't know how to like handle it sometimes. Shut up. Like there's moments where I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm being weird. Like I feel like this gives me a chance to be I never wanted to be like a stand-up comedian. Sure. But like it gives me a chance to like have that kind of like motif and also be like, goodbye.
And scene.
So I love that it gives me that outlet.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Do you
We're over 4,500 streams at this point. That's okay. Yeah.
That's amazing. So close to 20,000.
We're a quarter of the way there almost.
4,000 is more than I ever thought that we would have, because that's phenomenal. So I'm unbelievably happy, and there's so many people who share it, and so I hugely appreciate the support that we are given. I know that you do as well. I know that we talk about it a little incessantly, but I think that you give gratitude where gratitude is due.
Absolutely.
We would not literally be much of anything without people who listen to us and follow us.
Or motivated to continue without everybody like saying how much they enjoy it and that, they want more and whatever else. Because if literally nobody was giving us feedback, I'd be like, people hate it. We should probably stop.
No one to call.
We got 0 listens.
Call a spade a spade. Well, it's been 6 months and you reached 11 streams. We're doing it. We're fucking. So you're telling me there's a chance?
You're telling me there's a chance. Again with this hair, I can't.
I know. I was like, are you gonna get that?
I know. I don't always look at myself, so you have to tell me.
Just part of being a Gemini. I'm constantly looking. But not in the way that you think. I'm like, oh, you should fix this. You should do that. You should do that. Blah, blah, blah. Should. Shoulds all over myself. Knock it off.
We're not doing that. Not today, Satan.
No, not on the 30th episode. I swear, Zeus's hair is all over me. Anyways, do you think that there's other things that you dream up for the podcast that you are like, oh, I would love for this to happen?
So I've been thinking about this for a while, but I haven't told you because I'm like, I don't know. I think it would be cool if we wrote a book together.
Holy fuck. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Make sure her lips are real moisturized to answer this question.
I was like, just keep doing it. See what stuff does. I'm fucking here for it. You know that I'm not. That's nuts. It's wild. I've definitely thought about it. It's definitely been something that has crossed my mind for sure. I think it would be fucking cool. What would it be about?
Rewriting her story. Yeah, like how we got here, anything, right? Like, yes, we'd have to like narrow down a topic, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like people will read a book about us.
That is, oh God, my
You're
work.
like, and that's terrifying. So
It's not terrifying, but I'm like, automatically, right? Imposter syndrome shows up.
sure.
Of like,
Who am I to write a fucking book? Who the fuck
not
gives a shit about my life?
because like in my mind, I'm like, I can fucking write a book. Fuck it. Like people put shit all over Amazon.
That's
I could
true.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you wrote a book on Amazon. It's phenomenal. You put it on there. So why can't we?
Yep.
In my mind, though, I'm like, okay, if they're going to be reading about us, we got to be more successful. What? Shut up. What does that mean?
Sure. What does that mean?
Like, I feel like there's so many other people out there who have more knowledge than us around certain topics or areas, or even the podcast, that I get shy about.
But guess what? They're not
Us. Yeah. And reasonable mind knows that.
Sure.
Reasonable mind is like, shut the fuck up. But emotional mind is like, I have a point though. Yeah.
Do you think it's also that fear of rejection of like, what if people hate it?
No, of course.
Sure.
But people are there's always going to be somebody who doesn't like it.
1,000,000%.
Always. And I would say 8 times out of 10, the people who hate it, who really have some sort of disdain for it, are people who don't support you, who don't want you to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a me issue. That's a you issue.
Yeah.
That is something that you've got to work out yourself. I don't root for anybody to fucking fail. I don't. I think that there's so much in this world that we all have the ability to be successful because we all bring something else to the table. I think that, not to literally keep harping on Peloton, but like they've got a new instructor named Kristen Ferguson, I think. She's what was that?
Your Wisconsin's coming out.
I think she was, I forgot my it's gone.
There's room for everybody at the top is where you were starting, right? Like there's room for everybody to be successful. There's a new instructor on Peloton.
It's gone.
Okay.
It's fucking gone. How was I going to tie it to her? Oh, thank God. Not like literally God, but okay, talk, because like, you're going to forget the point. She was talking about how it would be so boring if we were all the same person, if we were all walking around at the same person, the same fitness levels, because that's how she equated it too, of like, nobody's perfect. There is no such thing. We all have different levels. And the importance of that is because it would be so boring that if we would be all at the same level doing the same thing. And that's another thing that Chase Tucker said in the boot camp that I took, is he was talking about that he loves and has a soft spot in his heart for newbies who start working out and doing whatever, because they remind us to be humble. They remind us of the beginning and to always be a student and to be learning these new things. And I think that also could be a challenge to the like, well, I don't know enough, or where I'm not good enough, or whatever it is. It's like, somebody could study psychology or whatever it is for 30 years of their life, but like, you're not me and I'm not you. So you don't have the same viewpoint or the same insight that I do. And so I do have something to bring to the table. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And there's times I psych myself out, dude. And when we come up with topics, I'm like, do I need to do research? And then we start talking and I'm like, no, I don't fucking need to do research. I know what I'm talking about. Right? Yes, there are episodes where I do need to do research because maybe I'm not as well versed in it. Like the grief episode, we definitely had to do research because we're not grief therapists, and that's okay. No. But here's the thing: we do the work to get the information to give to you guys, right? It'd be the same thing for a book. If there was something specific we were writing about that maybe we don't feel like we had enough experience on, we'd research it, but we also wouldn't set ourselves up to fail and write about something that we don't know what we're talking about.
Literally just write about nothing and be like, can you publish this?
Right.
If we had an editor or a publisher to be like, no, that fucking sucks actually. So,
right.
And I'd be like, well, rightfully so. We just sat in a room together and talked.
I think both of us have this dream goal in mind, not to be Brene Brown, right? But to be on her level someday. How fucking amazing would that be?
Do you know one thing that is a really big want of mine is to do a TED Talk?
You literally can sign up to do a TED Talk right now.
I know, but it's scary.
People keep telling me to, and I'm like, I can't. There's no way.
We could together.
I mean, yes, we could.
Could you fucking imagine?
Okay, but now you said it out loud for everybody to hear.
Oh, I'm saying it out loud. Facebook keeps giving me like, sign up for your curated TED Talk. And I'm like, what? If you're getting those, then I'm getting those. And that means.
Can you swear on TED Talks?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can't go.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go to a TED Talk where I can't swear. You can swear.
I was listening to a podcast, actually. I was
Can't
listening to
you?
a podcast where this woman, she's like a super successful influencer, designer, like all the things, right? And she
Sure.
was talking about how she got asked to do a speaking gig, and they said, "What's your price?" And she said $10,000, and they said,
Oh.
"Okay." And she was going to go. They came back and said, "But you can't swear." And she said, "Then I'm not doing it." She said, "I didn't care how much money it was, that I would be speaking for an hour and get 10 grand. If you don't want me as me, how I show up passionately and use the word fuck, I'm not doing it." And I was like, bitch, yes, that's the kind of level I want to be at. I'm going to turn you down because you tell me I can't swear.
I would hope to be that person.
Right?
But like 10 grand to give a speech, a bitch might censor herself. Because it's not that, like, yes, swearing is a part of me, but it's not me. So I could definitely see me tailoring it, because I do therapy sometimes with kids, more so in the beginning of my career than right now, but
Sure.
I didn't swear at 9-year-olds like, fucking what? Like,
Right.
I censored myself, but I was still me. So, that could really set Soph up. So I would really be like, well, that could really be
Might have
useful.
just take one for the team today.
It could be useful.
But the whole point is
But I get what you're
knowing
saying, yes.
her worth and what she has to offer and
Yes.
saying, no, like if you don't want me for me, I don't want to go.
But that's like what I put on our story not too long ago, is like the person, well, we can offer 70. That's not my price. So I'm not willing to do that. And then she's like, well, we could do 80. That's still not my prices. I'm not willing to go negotiate my worth. Again, these aren't magical numbers that I came up with for my sessions. There was research put into this.
Yep.
And I understand that they're pricey, but again, the type of therapy and the type of therapist that I'm an action therapist. I'm coming to the session ready to deliver. I'm coming to teach you things. I'm coming to put things into practice for you. And I'm making myself available to you at all times. That is the purpose of not going through insurances. It is not, you see me once a week for 55 minutes. You can text me, you can email me, you can call me. I am fucking here. But I also expect you to work. You are handing me money. I expect you to work because I will be working.
Yep.
So no, I'm not going to dull it down. Then I would just be on insurance panels and take insurances and never have to fucking work any other job but my own business again. I don't want to do that. That's not enticing to me. I want a specific clientele who is ready to work.
Same.
And I'm not backing down from that.
And again, that also comes down to knowing your worth and what you're
Yes.
willing to compromise on and what you're not willing to compromise on.
Yes.
It takes a fuck ton of confidence and practice, right? And a willingness to understand, no, this is for the greater good. I'm not going to back down on this because it doesn't feel good. Inside, it does not feel like the appropriate decision. So I'm not going to go forward with it.
Do you ever think about, I'm sorry, I gotta get it's bothering me. ADHD. Do you ever think about like where you are in your life right now? Yeah, that class. Again, I don't know what's going on. ADHD. Okay. Do you ever think about where you are in your life right now and think about like past teachers or like friends' parents or like, and think about like, what do the people think about me now? Like in a reminiscing way, not in a like, oh my God, do they like me? But like in a, did you guys think I would get here?
Not so much about my friends or my friends' parents, but people that knew me, like my parents' friends. I get a lot of reflection from them, right? Or like pride from them, or they'll tell my mom how cool it is that I'm doing all these things, or wow, I can't believe Steph is doing what she's doing. So I get that. I guess I don't know that I reminisce or think about it, to be honest. But now that you brought that up, I'm like, what would people say or think? I don't know.
I think about it all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, because I'm so fucking proud of myself. So I think about like other people. I'm so fucking proud of myself. I don't need anybody. I mean, it's nice, but I don't need anybody patting me on the back because I'm
Right.
literally like, fucking good job. Like, I'm
Mhm.
so fucking proud of myself. I've never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be where I am today. Never. And
I do know that I am uncomfortable at times being proud of myself and celebrating my wins. I feel very weird. I do. I know you don't. I do.
We're so different, which is so wild to me, which I think is what makes it so good about us. And it like, I feel that the way that I present sometimes could be viewed as like, oh, she's so confident, she's so self-assured, she's so these things. But like, please trust and know that I literally Snapchat my friends and I am like, whoa, like whatever. I don't know, whatever I'm struggling with that day. Like I struggle with things, absolutely. But like there are moments where I'm like, no, you fucking worked your ass off.
Mhm.
You will absolutely be fucking proud of yourself, goddammit.
Yeah, it's always been that way. I don't know if it's because I get uncomfortable when attention is on me. And
I
then
think
I
it's
feel like
because you're
it's
the oldest.
unwarranted. Maybe.
I do. I really feel like it is an oldest child thing.
Is tarot like that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Did I do this right? Am I sure I'm doing this right? Maybe I should think about it. Maybe I should ask somebody if I'm doing it right. And I'm not saying that you're like that, but like, I feel like yeah, I just think that she thinks like that. But I definitely think it's more so of I think it's an oldest child thing for sure. A role.
I don't like it. I would like to
Let us
change it.
listeners know. Are you an oldest child? Do you think like that? Is it hard for you to be proud of yourself versus maybe watching your younger siblings and how they internalize things?
I think it
Interesting.
may come down to just like imposter syndrome a lot of times too, of like,
Sure.
who am I to be proud of this? Like people do it all the time, or, like it's not that big of a deal is what I tell myself sometimes too. And that's not fair to me. Right.
No, it's not. So you just minimize it.
Right. Yes. What was I thinking about the other day? I was like walking to my car and I was thinking about that. I don't remember. But I remember thinking, wow, that's really shitty that you feel uncomfortable being proud of yourself for accomplishing things.
Oh, look at that judgment too that you just delivered.
Well, because
wow, that's really shitty that you think, ugh.
It's not fair to me. And I know that, right?
Valid, truthful point. It's not fair.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily need to get down to the why of things. Here's the thing, you guys. I think a lot of times people ask me to get to the why of things. There are times that I can absolutely nail down the why of a behavior that you have.
Yeah.
And there are also absolutely times that I can't. That doesn't mean that we can't change those behaviors. You don't always have to know the why behind something to change it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people get really frustrated about that. But ultimately, if the why doesn't necessarily matter, but you recognize and have insight into the behavior that you're trying to change, that's what matters. Understanding that like, this is no longer effective for me. This isn't working for me. I want to change it. That's what matters. Not necessarily the why from 20 years ago.
So
you know what I
true.
mean? Does that make sense?
Yes. 100%. 30.
Episode 30. And it took us 7 months to get here.
7 months.
February 13th will be our 1-year podiversary.
Oh my Lanta.
I have a stupid memory that just remembers all these dates from like the most random shit.
I'm so proud of you. I'm putting it in my phone right now. Podiversary. I know, like Harry Potter.
We'll celebrate with a romantic candlelit dinner for Valentine's Day.
We could. We should go. We should go get massages together.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh,
last time we did that was my birthday.
Yeah, I don't remember the last.
Yeah,
that had to be the last.
That we went together. Yeah, we did massages, pedicures, and then stayed at the Abbey and went to see Melanie Martinez, and then drove all the way back to the Abbey in Lake Geneva.
When do we get pedicures?
At the same place at
massages.
Body Wise. At Body Wise.
Oh, yes, that was.
And you're like, my masseuse didn't shut the fuck up the whole time.
Literally talking.
Wasn't relaxing.
I was like, please stop talking. Okay, no, that's not a D. Versary. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna make it at 8 a.m. so I remember. very early in the morning.
What day of the week is it?
Sunday. So we
Oh.
really can just go fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
My mother.
She really wants to go shopping.
She's something. She's a saint. I'll tell you that much.
What's your mom's zodiac?
A Leo.
Oh.
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense. My mom and my dad. What the fuck? Yeah, 2 Leos birthed a Gemini and a Libra.
And a Libra. I got an Aquarius and an Aries set of parents. So yeah, my mom's an Aries.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, I could see it, but I could see Pa being an Aries.
No,
for sure.
Pops is an Aquarius.
Yes, really?
Yeah.
They do have a spicy side.
And then they bred a Pisces and a Libra.
Oh, yikes. Oh, you know what? I also, and not that it's just firstborn too, it's also zodiac signs.
1000%.
Talking about, like, because Tara and Siege are the same zodiac and they fit.
Actually, they have the same exact birthday. So we were meant to be best
they're
friends.
the same zodiac. They don't know about it yet, but they will be best friends one day. Just kidding. Tara would be too anxious to make new friends. He's too young. I can't be friends with him.
We should do, I mean, I have to do more research, but we should do a whole episode on the Enneagram stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. We could also talk about zodiac stuff all day.
Write it down.
Okay.
Enneagram.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're doing it though.
I mean, I am. So.
Stephanie, no, I'm not. As your little pen is like this. Oh man. Here's the thing. I'm beyond thankful that we have the opportunity to do this. I'm beyond thankful that people get content and take advice or take steps or put some of the things that we talk about into practice in their life. I'm beyond grateful and thankful that we are given the chance to do this. So I would love for the 30th episode to just be a giant thank you to everybody who listens to us and supports us, because it means the world to me.
Absolutely. We want you guys to feel seen and heard and validated, because we know how much that means and how good that feels to feel those things. And if we can do that by providing content for you guys or bullshitting or making you guys laugh, like, I'm fucking here for it. So here for it.
Sign me up.
Immediately.
Okay. You can find us at Rewriting Her Story podcast on Instagram. You can find Steph at SpookyFitMom13. You can find me at BEA_XO11. You can find us on YouTube, Rewriting Her Story podcast. You can email us any questions, concerns you may have. Also, any topics that you would like to see covered, rewritingherstorypodcast@gmail.com. All of this is in the show notes.
Also in the show notes is how to subscribe to the podcast for extras every other week. And
the PS episodes and potential interviews coming up. We don't have any on the books, but we have like 14 ideas that we are going to do for interviewing people. So we just want to say thank you again. And I'm not going to do a funny sign off because I really want to drive home the point that I am so grateful. So thank you so much. And we will talk to you guys soon.
And we love you guys.
Yes.
Bye.